Hello, my name is Mark Moody, and I've got some very interesting news for you. Um, Kind of tragic news. The good news is we did receive a message from an alien civilization, and we were able to decode it. I mean, when I say "were," I mean literally me, um, and and get the message. And there's no denying that this is a message, and you're going to do it with me here, so you know for a fact that what I'm telling you is the truth. Um, you can check it all out. You'll see the links of everywhere that I got the information. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know first of all to understand how this happened and understand it. I'm a scientist, and I've published a couple of papers regarding different theories in the universe. One of them is that knowledge is contained within the light, and within the light, we can learn anything about the universe just from reading the light. Now, it sounds kind of strange at first until you realize if you look at like this star here, any star, but we'll pick that one. I could tell you first off from the light whether it is a star or not. If not, I can tell you what it is. If it is a star, I can tell you about the core, exactly what's in the core of that star, what it's made up of, and the density from the light. I can tell you what the star is made of, hydrogen, helium, what percentages. I can tell you the age of that star. I can tell you the distance of that star. I can tell you whether that star has planets or not. And I can tell you just a wealth of more information from just the beam of light. I can learn that much. So if we learn how to read everything that is in the light, all the information of the universe is there in the light. And once we learn how to read it, it'll provide us with a lot more information. Now, alien civilizations, advanced, would certainly know that. And they wouldn't be trying to send us radio waves and stuff. They would send us messages in light. And that's what we should be looking for, not radio waves. Um, and then, of course, the second, another paper that I have is about how everything's connected, and saying that if you blow up an atom here in our galaxy, it's not an atom in a different galaxy. It may be the entire galaxy. So you can't just go blowing apart the universe at that level because somewhere there's going to be horrific effects in the galaxy. And that paper is pretty widely accepted, so it appears to be accurate. So with those two things in mind, I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to, try it out? Let's see if we can, they've probably been sending us messages in the light for, a million years and we never knew. So I Googled flashing in and out lights or something like that, and this was the first page that came up. The very first page. A star has lived 5 times. So we come down here and see what it is. It says that they say it's a supernova. NASA says it's a supernova. No, absolutely not. That is not a supernova. I don't know what it is, but it's not a supernova. Okay, that is ridiculous. So, and NASA will never just say they don't know. They call everything a supernova that they don't know what it is. So it says it was first observed in 2014, unlike other supernova that typically shine for about 100 days and then fading out. This one, about 500 million light years away, grew brighter and then dimmer 5 times over 600 days. Even more peculiar, archives showed another explosion was observed in the same location in 1954. Well, that's interesting. What's really interesting is why they've been watching this particular patch of sky since 1954, because if you hold the toothpick up at arm's length to the night sky, that's how much space is actually in this picture, that thinness. So it's a tiny spot in space for them to be giving so much attention to. And you'll see they've really given a lot of attention to this. Now this guy, they're trying to explain it down here, and it's unclear why it's happening. Usually they'll blow up 95 to 130 times, but it would end in a supernova, not that. And same thing, this one says the supernova's constant temperature doesn't fit with the theory. This thing has released more energy than predicts. So it suddenly got a bunch of energy, this thing, and blew up. And nobody knows where it came from. This guy actually just quits. He says, I'm not making any more predictions about these things. And these are people from NASA. So it surprises us every time. So nobody's got any explanation for this. So let's look at this. What we have is we have a code here. We have brighter than dimmer 5 times over 600 days. So it flashes 5 times like an explosion over 600 days. And we know that something blew up there at 1954. So let's look at 1954 and see what we blew up. In 1954, and like I said, all the links are here. You can check all this out. This was nuclear test Operation Castle. In 1954, the largest nuclear bomb that we've ever exploded to date, that includes from before this and after this, this was the biggest bomb we ever blew up. The 14.8 megaton hydrogen bomb. Now, how many hydrogen bombs did we blow up in just over 600 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was not a hydrogen bomb. This was a little atom bomb. They do not blow up universes. These do. So, and the biggest one was in 1954. And the other ones all happened within just over 600 days. So if we go back here, take a look at this. It says, grew brighter than dimmer 5 times, like the 5 bombs, over 600 days. Even more peculiar, it was observed in 1954 to have an explosion. Now that would be a really weird coincidence, right? Pretty much an impossible coincidence. But it goes on. So let's look at this 600 number. Now, ground zero is where the impact is felt the strongest. It's not where the bomb hit, but it's where the impact would be felt the strongest is not at ground zero. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Where you drop the bomb is not where the impact is the strongest. It's a little bit off in nuclear weapons. If you get, 600 yards or 700 yards away, that's where the impact is the strongest. So in this case, bomb number 1, which is the big one, was 600 yards from ground zero, where the impact was the strongest. So that is what you would, if you were looking to see where the bomb actually exploded, you would think that's where. 600 yards away from ground zero. Again, the 600. Bomb number 1. Now, you can check this page. You'll see it's the same bomb. It's the same exact thing we're talking about here. So, that's an awful lot of coincidences, but we're still not done. I wondered why NASA was so interested in this spot, and I did a Google search to see if I could see what I've been real interested in lately. What is it watching the Hubble telescope? I came up with something like this. No, not that. This one. So this is from space.com, very well respected, very well known website. Now here's a picture that NASA recently took. It says the Hubble Space Telescope can 555 hours of exposure time to capture this field image. It represents a seemingly empty patch of sky the width of a toothpick when held at arm's length. The picture contains only 2 foreground stars. So what is it? I mean, they don't actually say. Is that supposed to be part of our galaxy, or what? The most distant galaxies? Obviously not, because there's a bunch of galaxies in it. So they don't actually say. It just says it's an empty piece of space. Okay, that's not an empty piece of space. As a matter of fact, if you look carefully, you'll see the galaxy chains. And this is also for my theory. You don't know this yet, but you will. Galaxies form a chain in a circle. Okay, and that would be kind of our universe. There really is no such thing as a universe. I mean, there's one, and we're all in it. You can't define it. So this is our galaxy chain, and you can see it forms a circle. So even I can't see it wrong. Well, okay, now you see this circle starting to form? Okay, these are the galaxy chains. There's a circle there. It doesn't form a complete circle because it's not finished, but it comes back around, and these are circles, and these are different chains of different galaxies. Now you can see it. There's different chains of different galaxies in there. Like the blue ones are closest to us, so that would be one chain. This one's a different color, that would be another chain. So, but they're all in a circle here. You get the idea here of the shape. Now, notice this indentation here, where it kind of sticks out here. I want you to notice this star, and then there's another spot with 3 stars on it, but I don't see it right now. Why not? I don't know, just because I'm making a video, I guess that's why. But there's these stars here. Try to pick out some identifying characteristics. And I get a phone call right in the middle of my video. So we're going to try to pick out some identifying. Keep an idea, just look at this, the shape of it, look at this indent, and look at this star. That's a very unique star there. So take a look at that. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to look at this. There's that star. Remember that unique star? The indentation. And then there's these 3 stars. I found them over there. I can't find them right now, but you can look for them. These 3 stars you'll find over there also. Very strange that this seems to be what this picture is, but not blown up anymore. I mean, it's not exploded now. So what did I do with it? I don't know. I'll find this one later. Okay, so that looks a lot like this. It really does look a lot like that. Very uncanny. I mean, if it's not blown up anymore, if you turn it back into space with the explosion gone, which, you know, explosions do not stay forever, then now you see what we really blew up. All that. Strange coincidence. And for NASA, I mean, not to even tell us anything about the truth of any one of these pictures is also very strange, because they didn't just happen to pick this spot for 555 hours. They picked this spot for a reason. And it's not just accidental that it looks just like the spot they should be looking at, which I've lost again. The spot they should be looking at, which is this one. I think that they know we blew this up, and I think they've probably been communicating back and forth with it for a while. Maybe not. Maybe it just sent a distress call out to the universe, you know, but that was directly at us. Only we would know. 5 bombs in 600 days at ground zero was 600. And I firmly believe that's a message from them. And according to my theory, this is exactly what we would expect from that type of bomb. This kind of destruction somewhere else in the universe. So all of it adds up. So that's why we got upset about the nuclear bomb testing things. Now, this hasn't stopped. I mean, the U.S. has finally stopped bombing itself thousands of times, but we've been at nuclear war with China for decades. Every time China blows itself up, we got to blow up 2 bombs. And then they blow up 3 bombs on themselves, and we blow up 4 bombs on ourselves. This has been going on for decades. And Russia, too. Every time they blow a bomb, we got to blow a bomb. Every time somebody in the world blows a bomb up, the U.S. thinks it needs to blow one up. So it's a nuclear war. But the difference is we're actually blowing ourselves up, your own country. And China's blowing its own country up. But it's still a nuclear war, and it is having impact on Earth and on the universe. Now they've cut back finally. I think the U.S. finally figured out we don't want to blow up the universe. They quit this bomb testing stuff all the time. But they're still creating horrible things. At CERN, when they crash those particles together, they're making a universe, and not the right way. They're saying they're making black holes and trying to create the conditions of our universe at the start. Well, if you create the conditions of our universe at the start, you get our universe. You don't just get conditions. So when they crash these particles together at that speed, it literally, I won't go into the whole explanation, but it creates a universe inside, or at least galaxy chain, like I showed you. It creates galaxies inside of our galaxy. But they were made with 1,000,000,000 times more power than how our galaxy was made. So it's going to be 1,000,000 times bigger, 1,000,000 times faster it's going to get there. And this thing is now inside of our galaxy. So we shouldn't be doing these things until we really understand. Of course, there's always a chance I'm in error, but I never am. So just in case, we shouldn't be doing any of this stuff until we really understand the impact from what we're doing. And that's it. So give me a comment. Let me know what you think. I would appreciate it. Thank you. And stay with the channel, because this is just the first test we've done on the theories. We have so many cool tests and so many things to do. Not that this was cool. This is horrible. And hopefully the next ones will not turn out this horrible. But they all will be very interesting. This is just a drop in the bucket to what we'll be doing throughout the next couple of weeks.